Akwa Ibom governor's wife urges principals, head teachers to sensitize students on drug abuse. Nigeria police announces suspension of ECMR on vehicle owners. Plus, reporter X-rays health benefits of shedding tears. Stay tuned for details of these and other reports in a moment. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Mercy Akiri. Welcome to the news. Principals and heads of schools have been charged to prioritize the sensitization of students on drug and substance abuse to curb its increasing surge, as well as address challenges associated with it. Wife of the state governor and chairperson, Drug Control Committee, Pastor Patience Umoino, gave the charge during an advocacy meeting organized for principals, compound masters, and counselors of schools in Eket Federal Constituency, held at Government Secondary School, Afar Eket Local Government Area. Margaret Bassey reports.
Stressing the importance of addressing problems of substance abuse in schools, Pastor Patience Eno described it as a critical issue that threatens the well-being and future of youths, resulting in long-term damage to physical and mental health, thereby spurred the increase in crimes. Represented by this wife, advocated that a war against drug abuse, WADA club abuse, and promote a safer community, while soliciting the collective efforts of stakeholders, teachers, and parents to sensitizing requires intentional approach and effective collaboration.
War against drug abuse clubs will be established or reactivated in schools to equip our students with knowledge, provide social skills, and support to resist drug abuse and promote a safer community. The committee looks forward to collaborating with you and other relevant stakeholders in this fight to curb the menace of drug abuse in our state. I humbly request that you give us the necessary support and cooperation required.
Mr. Nsidibe Francis, who gave a keynote presentation on responding to substance use challenges in schools, estimated that 14.3 million people between the ages of 15 to 64 use drugs. Also stated that its complexity requires an interdisciplinary approach. Mr. Francis urged school heads and parents to look out for a child who displays unexpected changes in mood, become more secretive, associate with a new group of friends, absenteeism and sudden decline in school performance, sleeps or eats too much, even steals or sells his possession as warning signs of drug abuse.
Brain development goes full circle at 21 years of age. And if they get to use these substances in secondary school, when most of them are less than 21 years of age, it means that it will affect their brain development.
An overview of the Akwa Ibom State Drug Control Committee was presented by Mr. Isaac Davis, who noted that the committee, inaugurated on February 2023, is saddled with the responsibility to address the growing challenges of substance abuse in the state and has recorded significant milestones through commitments to evidence-based strategies.
The Akwa Ibom State Drug Control Committee is committed to evidence-based strategies, ensuring that its interventions are grounded in research and best practices to achieve sustainable outcomes.
Participants, including the host principal, Mr. S.M. Young, thanked the committee for prioritizing the well-being of students through desensitization, expressing the hope that it will help curb youth restiveness and return normalcy to their respective schools.
I so thank God for our Excellency Pastor Mrs. Umani for sponsoring this program. It's going to go a long way in helping us in schools to make sure we don't have restiveness again.
The event featured demonstration on drug abuse and interactive session by participants. Margaret Bassey, Akbc News.
The Nigerian police have announced the suspension of the enforcement of the controversial electronic central military registration for vehicle owners. The police had earlier announced that the enforcement will commence on July 29, which would have led to sanctions on vehicle owners who do not possess the ECMR. Many Nigerians had condemned the earlier announcement, and the Nigeria Bar Association gave the police 1 week to rescind the decision. The critics argued that it is not the duty of the police to issue such vehicle documents. In a statement on Sunday, police spokesperson Olumuyiwa Adejobi defended the decision of the police to issue the certificate to vehicle owners who pay for it. Mr. Adejobi said Police Chief Kayode Egbetokun suspended the enforcement of the certificate to allow for mass enlightenment of Nigerians. Cooperative organizations and farmer groups Friday smiled him with farm inputs courtesy of Akwa State government. They were given the inputs at the Akbc headquarters. Uyu Paul reports.
Presenting the farm inputs to the beneficiaries, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fiongofo, said the present administration is concerned about producing enough food for consumption in the state and to export. The reason the inputs are given to all sets of people and farmers in the state. Dr. Fo advised them to produce the inputs, which included cassava cuttings, coconut seedlings, and chemicals, in order to have enough for the next planting season. The Commissioner used the occasion to call on individual farmers to form clusters either in the cooperatives or farmer groups so as to benefit from government's free inputs, promising them fertilizer soon.
Each of these groups, they are in 50 bundles of coconuts. I don't want to improve variety. Malaysian hybrid. I'll come in yellow, come in green. Because those things are very expensive. So government
The Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Mary Kroite, saluted the farmers for their resilience in ensuring food sufficiency in Akwa Ibom, advising them not to sell the inputs.
Please, you are all here to collect this free from our dear governor. Maybe I don't money in it all for it. I had a pastor more and on. Am I not one faith? Receive it in good faith.
The former Director, Planning, Research and Statistics, Mr. Moses Akman Urabon Brown, and the Programs Manager, Academy, Mr. Emma Ekanum, all praised Governor Moino for his interest in agricultural revolution, advising the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the inputs, while a former Director of Agriculture in the ministry, Mr. Emmanuel Akman, gave lectures on how to cultivate the cassava cuttings and coconut seedlings.
What has been transpiring here in the last 1 month, where inputs of different kinds have been given to farmers. This is made possible, I think, by His Excellency.
On behalf of the people of Eket Senatorial District, we have seen that Kese Moinamami, I didn't make sure that Akwa Ibom in due course, I had a food basket. May I say to different places,
here to really thank God and our amiable governor for bringing this golden era into agri practice.
And I mean, even you can use granular cooker again more.
Eyagenopo. Akbc News.
Africa's top business mogul Aliko Dangote says the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) no longer owns 20% stake in the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Mr. Dangote, who was speaking at a press conference weekend, said NNPC now owns just 7.2% of the refinery, as against 20% announced when the refinery was undergoing construction, either a failure to pay the balance of their share, which was due in June. The NNPCL had announced the acquisition of 20% stake in September 2021. Revealing details of the transaction, NNPC in its audited financial statements for 2022 said NNPC Greenfield holds the investment. NNPC disclosed at the time that the balance $1.76 billion of the cost of equity investments made in Dangote Refinery will be paid upon completion of the refinery project or any other date agreed. In a swift reaction by the NNPCL to the statement by Mr. Dangote yesterday evening, it said the company made a commercial decision to cap investments at the amounts already paid. It will be recalled that the Dangote Refinery commenced production on January 12, 2024. Moving on now, the National Council for Women Societies, NCWS, has commended the House of Representatives on the passage of Women's Bill seeking to alter the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria to provide for seat reservations for women in the National Assembly and States Houses of Assembly. According to a statement by the acting national president of the forum, Geraldine Etuk, the landmark achievement is a significant step for gender equality and representation in Nigeria. The passage of the bill, she said, is a statement to the tireless efforts of women's rights advocates and organizations, including the NCWS, who have worked tirelessly to promote gender equality and challenge the status quo. The NCWS applauds the House of Representatives for taking the bold step towards empowering women and promoting inclusive governance. The Council charges the Nigerian Senate to follow suit and pass the bill without delay so that Nigeria can join the ranks of countries that have made significant strides in promotion of gender equality in governance. And now to a special report. Many things cause people to shed tears. One of them happens perhaps maybe the present economic situation in the country. While some people cry for help when they are down or sad, a lot others cry for joy. But the good news is that tears have great health benefits, as revealed by Ayano Paul in this report on why people cry and why men don't shed tears.
Shedding tears is a natural human response to various occurrences. It could be as a result of emotional or physical pain, economic, social, political, or academic gains. It can even be as a manipulative method to get one's way. Women are said to cry more when they want to express their feminine strength as a defense mechanism. Men, on the other hand, have been taught from childhood that men don't cry. In Nigeria, tears are no respecter of gender due to obvious reasons, including the harsh economy evidenced in the high cost of goods and services, resulting in low standard of living. But the question is, why do women cry a lot?
Sometimes even for the take good care of you. I'm making neighbor for that a bit come on here from because even I don't bother here soft hearts
Soft mind. It's in them naturally. You can't hold it that long. Women cry when they are happy, and they also cry when they are sad.
Because they cry because some of them have good hearts, so they expect people to treat them better. So if you don't treat them the same way they treat others, they tend to cry a lot.
Even in hard situations, African men hardly cry. Does it mean that they are not emotional? Are they hardly touched by circumstances, or they do not have tears stored in their eyes?
Men know how to control their emotion when things happen. You know, you can see men going through a very tough situation. They know how to suppress the pain and at the same time think of a way forward.
As a man, the nature of a man have to be strong, physically and spiritual. That's why man doesn't cry quick. You know, if the man can endure, the woman cannot endure what the man can do.
Me as a man, I don't really feel much because I always think ahead. I always expect that such things gonna happen. So I always prepare my mind. That's why men don't really cry.
If anything at the Pagano is a DBA, Imam so you buy in years at 9 and you don't any strong guy.
Crying means different things to different people. It may be a prayer to some and consolation to others. But the good news is that shedding tears have health benefits. As such, they should not be suppressed in order not to miss out of the range of benefits. Tears detoxify the body. It helps to soothe self, improves mood and sleep, release toxins and stress. It can heal, correct and alternate stress. It fights bacteria and improves vision, according to a psychologist with the University of Uyo, Dr. Mfon Ineme.
In psychology, shedding of tears is a ventilation. You are venting what is inside of you, you are airing it out, and it helps to relieve the mind. It helps that the mind will work well. It also helps to even wash the eyes physiologically. And because you don't vent, as you grow in age, you start coming down with so many psychophysiological implications, like internal heat. You may end up being so confused in life. Some people become aggressive unknowingly. But if you totally want to show you are a strong person, you are tempering with your old age. It will affect you much later in life in many ways.
In fact, it is always said that when a child cries so much at birth, he or she will be a great singer. The health hazards of tears include having a puffy eyes, splotchy skin, headache, stretching of facial muscles, fatigue, runny nose, low-winning face in the public, and tears carry enormous weight. With all these benefits of tears, will you still hold back? If yes, try not to hold, even as a man.
Please, we should stop this idea of saying, so that they will refuse to cry. Even when the thing is bottled up, even when the emotions are built up so much, they will know, oh, you're a man now, you're a man, don't cry, be a man. Even if it means taking the person out to go and cry in his room, let him go somewhere and cry. Instead of stopping him from crying at all, crying is not a show of weakness.
Seriously, you can now engage in crying competition in Africa, Nigeria, or Akwa Ibom to get enough benefit of tears. Most of all, may you shed only tears of joy this new year. Eyageno Paul, Akbc News.
And on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has said he is supposed to be dead after Saturday night's assassination attempt at a rally in Pennsylvania. Speaking in one of his first interviews since the incident, Mr. Trump told conservative U.S. media that he had been saved by luck or by God. The Spectator
instantly iconic,
while two other persons were seriously injured. The gunman, who also died, has been named as Thomas Matthew Cooks. Speaking as he prepared to board a flight to the upcoming Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where he is expected to be confirmed as the party's candidate for president. Mr. Trump said he now had a chance to bring the country together. He said his speech will now be completely different instead of the humdinger aimed mostly at current President Joe Biden's policies he had previously planned. Mr. Trump said the assassination attempt has had an impact on his life. Little is known about the motivation of Crooks, the 20-year-old would-be assassin who was shot dead by Secret Service at the scene. The FBI has said that while its investigation suggests Crooks acted alone, it would continue to look into whether the kitchen worker had received help. The spectator who was killed in Saturday's attack has been named as Corey Competor, a 50-year-old volunteer fire chief who died trying to protect his family. In a televised address following the attack, President Biden called for the temperature of politics to be lowered. And on that note, we conclude our package this afternoon. Many thanks for your time. My name is Mercy Ekere. Good afternoon.